Gideon Levy is a columnist with the Israeli newspaper Haaretz, and he's joining us live from Tel Aviv. Thank you very much for your time, as always, Mr. Levy. It is the deadliest day in Lebanon since the end of its civil war in 1990. What, in your view, is Israel trying to achieve here?
I know what it's trying to achieve. I just think that the means are not the right means, and for sure not the moral one. Israel is trying to achieve, as it declares, returning back the 60,000 people who were displaced 1 year ago and pushing Hezbollah up to the Litani River, northern to the Litani River. I guess that this could have been accepted and achieved by a deal if Israel would put a ceasefire, agree to a ceasefire in Gaza. Israel didn't challenge Hezbollah. Israel was not ready to put an end to the war in Gaza. And here we are now in a new war in a very, very big scale, which is only in its beginning.
And as we've been reporting over the past week, the Israeli cabinet made it a goal of its war in Gaza to return the tens of thousands of evacuated Israelis to the north. But are they any closer to that goal following last week's escalation?
Obviously, right now, we are not only not closer, but we are much farther. But you can't judge it today. We have to be fair. After 2-3 days of massive attacks, nothing can be achieved. My fear is that also after 2 months of attacks like this, nothing will be achieved. And if it will be achieved, we will be exactly the same point that we could have been today, yesterday, before this attack, through diplomacy. But Israel didn't give it a chance because Israel wants to continue the war in Gaza. That's the key of this whole complication.
Is it that Israel didn't give diplomacy a chance, or that it hasn't had enough pressure put on it by perhaps the only country that has the leverage with Israel, which is the United States? And do you expect the US to put any more pressure on Israel to rein in its ally?
First of all, the United States didn't put any pressure on Israel. It was only verbal, and Israel can easily ignore advices or even threats as long as they are not accompanied by deeds. And, you know, the United States was and is supplying Israel with all the arms and ammunitions, which means that the United States supports what Israel is doing. There's no other way to explain it. And the United States is part of what happened in Gaza. As it comes to Lebanon, I didn't hear anything from the United States, even not a condemnation, which is in any case hollow, but even this wasn't heard from there. The United States is now busy with the campaign for the elections. The United States practically is giving Israel a carte blanche to go wild in Lebanon like it did in Gaza.
Mr. Levy, do you see that the United States' calculation could change, given that Hezbollah is not Hamas? It is a much stronger foe, and the stakes of any war between Israel and Hezbollah are so much higher.
No doubt about it, and no doubt about the fact that if the United States would have liked the war in Gaza to finish, it could have been finished. But the United States never took real measures. Same for Lebanon. Israel cannot go for any war without the support of the United States. This must be clear, because ammunition is running out, weapons are running out, and the United States is the biggest supplier of Israel. As long as the United States does not stop or condition or at least decrease the quantity of weapons which it is supplying to Israel, Israel has a free hand to do whatever it wants, and you see the results.
And Mr. Levy, just lastly, as someone who has followed what Israel has done for your entire lifetime, how would you categorize their actions, starting with detonating thousands of personal communication devices in a sovereign nation and ending with, well, it hasn't ended at all, but with the 500 people killed in Lebanon in one day?
I'll answer you in a very simple way. Imagine yourself that Hezbollah would have used the same methods, sending hundreds of devices to Israeli soldiers in vacation bombing Israel and they're killing 500 people in one day. What would the world say then? How would it define Hezbollah? How would it define the results? What would the world say about those devices, exploding devices, which killed uh, anyone around, and if not killed, made him blind or made him disabled for the rest of their life? How would it be defined by the world? Terror. This would be the definition, a very cruel terror. So why is it when Israel is using the same methods, the world accepts it, Israel is sure it's doing the most moral action in the world, and nobody stops Israel?
Mr. Levy, we thank you for your analysis as always. That is Gideon Levy joining us live from Tel Aviv. Thank you.
Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.